Hi guys, I didn't expect to be back as soon and making a video as soon as this, but my last video did cause a little bit of a stir, and I've had a lot of feedback from people in conversations, messages, posts, and so I wanted to address some of that. So when you go into cancer, you go in here, and it doesn't matter whether you have chemo, radiation, operations. When you come out of cancer, you come out here. This bit never seems to come back. This now becomes your 100%, not this. And so a lot of people I talk to, they're 6 years, 10 years, 3 years in, and they're all still struggling. And although when you're going through it, chemo absolutely sucks, it's the worst, radiation is the easiest part. But after effects of the radiation are probably the hardest part because it's altered the internal tissues under your skin. So for me, I have to take tablets if I'm going to fly. Those tablets make me bleed. I get nosebleeds, my gums bleed. Um, but the swelling I get from the radiated areas under the pressure of an aeroplane means I have no choice. I have to take the medication and take the bleeding, or take the swelling and no longer be able to use my bladder. So we're consciously being told you're going to be better, you're going to be better, but you're not. A couple of things that get overlooked is the health issues you had prior to going into cancer. All that time and effort and focus is on the cancer. When you come out the other end, you still have the cancer, the pre-cancer conditions you had before. So I still had my allergies, I still had my back pain, I still had my mobility problems. I didn't get better. And psychologically, when you repeatedly told you're going to get better, you wonder what's wrong with you because you don't. And you're better than you were because during treatment you're here, you've got up to here, but you're never getting back to there. And they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that your better is only 80% of what it was before you started this. And that doesn't matter whether it's surgery, radiation, chemotherapy. You've got a different level of normal when you come out of it. And I'm sure there are quite a few that do bounce back to normal, and God love them. I wish I was one of them. I wish the people I was talking to were one of them, but we're not. And so you're having to adapt to a lower level of of your new normal, and it's not fun. The other thing that came up, as you can imagine, was quite a few things about with the hair. So a few people I have spoken to. So because my chemo was for gynecological issues, not for the breast cancer, I didn't lose my hair during my chemo. I, it thinned a bit, but I didn't lose it. I came out of it with a really good head of hair. But a lot of people I've spoken to since I put the video up have said they wished that even though we had the chemo that didn't make their hair fall out, it did make their hair patchy, it did change the texture of their hair, and they wish they had shaved it off, even though they didn't need to for the treatment. Because now, years later, they're still having problems with the fact that their hair has had all those toxins and all those poisons through it, and it just doesn't grow properly. It grows patchy. It doesn't feel like their hair. They can't get it to that silky stage. Another conversation I had recently, earlier on today, Was someone wishing that they had been told, yes, it's really exciting when your hair starts to grow back, but keep on shaving it for a couple of months after treatment's finished, after you've rung the bell, after it's all finished. Keep on shaving it until all that crap, all that medicine is out of your system, all that radiation is out of your system, and then let it grow back. Because it's grown back brittle, it's snapping, ends are splitting. And so a few people have said, a couple were quite adamant about it, but a few people have said they wish they'd carried on shaving their head for about 3 to 4 times more after treatment so that they had better hair. But because they'd been through the treatment, they didn't feel they could reshave their head. They psychologically couldn't, which relates back to what I said yesterday in the fact that wanting to is very different to got to. So it's a hard one because they still have that got to mindset. My hair now, once it does start growing, and I am going to shave it a couple more times, will be growing as virgin hair with no dyes, no texture, no anything in it. Hopefully, I won't need any more medication that's going to affect my hair. But I did mention on previous medications, my nails have never come back properly. I always used to have long nails before my cancer journey. My nails snap just by looking at them. They're okay. They're not really short, but they're not good. They're nothing like what they were. They don't like nail varnish anymore. I put it on, but it just peels straight off. And we forget that this is some heavy duty poisons we've had through our system, often for quite a prolonged period of time. Um, the chemo, you feel really crap when you're going through it, but the effects of radiation go with you so much further. The effects of radiation under my arm, in my chest, all the way up into my neck because they took the radiation up into the lymph nodes in my neck. That's still an issue 12 months on. Um, that's still something I have to take into account if I'm going to fly. I've flown, I've been to Sydney and I've been to the UK, and both times it was really horrific in the areas that had been radiated. Okay, it's a small percentage of people this happens to, but it sucks. It absolutely sucks. Because it was gynecological as well as breast cancer, I felt like I had been run over by a truck getting off a plane. So it isn't over because it's over. And this idea, pull your socks up, get on with it. They offer counselling during cancer or on diagnosis, but those support networks for when you actually need them, which is after you're supposedly better, um, just don't seem to be there, or they're not as accessible, or they're not offered to you. And I would say it's more after treatment that you need the psychological and emotional help rather than during, because you're so busy. It's just another appointment to try and fit in. Okay, I hope that makes sense. To those of you that are going through this, just keep on keeping on. That's all you can do. Just keep on keeping on. And remember that your 100% might not be here, it might be here, but that 100% is still good. It's still alive and it's still got enough in it to kick butt. Okay, take care. Bye.